Hello! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudi and thank you so much for being here. Little bit of a different setup today. I just had to move to the corner of my desk because the sun blares directly into my eyeballs when I film in front of my windows. So, you know, it's a little different, that's okay. I have been teasing this video to you guys for what feels like a couple months at this point, and that is a brand review and full face of the brand Make Beauty. I honestly don't even know exactly when Make Beauty came into my life. I want to say it was 2021 or 2020, which was during their rebrand, which we'll talk a little bit about. But I actually first experimented with Make Beauty in their skincare, which I believe was their first set of products before they came out with makeup. This is an independent beauty brand that is fairly small, but if you are in the community that I am on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc., you'll know about Make Beauty and you've probably seen people talk about them here and there. So the brand, I'm pulling from the website here, the brand was actually founded in 2013 by the founder. Her name is Carrie Barber. She's the owner and creative director, and it was reset in 2021 to help with some authentic diversity, unique expression. They also wanted to push for using technology and formulations, playing with pigment, which I would say is probably their makeup, and also making sure they were working towards sustainable materials in their product and packaging. So to me, this brand is sort of something that really stood out to me, not only from the packaging, but just the whole idea of the brand. The products are very meticulously made and they seem to have a purpose behind them. I actually became really interested in this brand once their makeup started coming out, as usual. I have a lot of skincare, but it is a lot easier for me to try makeup out on a case-to-case basis because it doesn't require as much testing as skincare does to see if I like the product, how it wears, things like that. So once I started testing out their makeup, it just became easier for me to want to test out their skincare. So we're going to talk about a few skincare products, but mostly makeup today, all the way from their skin tint down to mascara, eyebrows, lips, the whole kit and caboodle. We are missing a few things from the line. We're missing a lot of the skincare I don't have. And then I think the only makeup product that I'm missing is their transparent powder. Otherwise, we're covering every single thing. So if you are curious about the makeup that I have on today, or you're interested in this brand and you want to see a breakdown from my perspective, please keep watching. And also don't forget to subscribe. We talk about skincare, makeup. We do full brand reviews, vlogs, hauls, and I would love to have you subscribe. Come on. I also wanted to mention that Make Beauty is a member of this specific company that creates a few different brands, or has been like the powerhouse behind some of my favorite brands. It's called The Center, or The Center Brands. I can pop in a picture so you can see, but underneath this brand, there is Naturium, which is Susan Yar's brand, Make Beauty, which is what we're talking about today, Fleur, which is a fragrance company that I am really enjoying at the moment, as well as Saltaire, which is the body care that I've talked about. They make deodorants, they make body washes. Some of their stuff has been in my favorites before. So this, you know, sort of overarching owner, they know what to buy. Like, I don't know how else to explain it besides I think that they're really on the right path. So I'm really curious about that ownership, and I've been following them for a while. So I am very excited to get into this. Let's start with two of the skincare products that I talked about mentioning in the beginning of the video. So the first thing is called the Pink Matter Multi Balm. This is a $24 pretty much lip balm / lip serum. On the website, it says that it envelops lips with a layer of rich, long-lasting nourishment, slippy, cushiony, and never sticky. It locks in moisture and hydration. So they also say this can be used on dry patches, cuticles, top of cheekbones for a subtle highlight. I personally do not use it that way. I use it solely on my lips because it has a tiny bit of a cooling sensation to it. Not anything crazy, but enough that I wouldn't want to put it on my skin. This is a pretty big amount of product. It's 0.47 ounces, and it has this light sheer pink color, but I would say it's pretty much clear. I like this product. Again, it has that slight minty scent to it. I don't think it's like the #1 necessary product that I'm gonna recommend from this brand to you. I know that a lot of people love this specifically in the brand. I know a lot of friends that are pregnant have really enjoyed using this as well on their dry patches, on their lips, etc. I do love it. However, I do think there are better lip balms out there. Right now, I'm like absolutely obsessed with the Rhode lip treatment, and I would choose that over this. However, I'm glad I have it and I do use it from time to time, but I just wanted to throw that in there. here. Something that I have been starting to incorporate into my routine as it gets colder out are balm style products, and this is the Hibernation Capsule Overnight Recovery Balm. This is essentially a very, very thick cream that you can use on its own in place of a moisturizer in the evening, or you can use to lock in all of your skincare and your hydrating products. Definitely in the evening. I'm not wearing this today because it would be way too thick for me to wear underneath makeup, but I did apply a little bit around my mouth where I tend to get very dry, and I feel like it does make a difference. This is fragrance free. It's got a really cool consistency to it. It's so thick. I really like this, and I could see this being used in place of my Milk Makeup vegan moisturizer, which I love so much. It's got more of like a bouncy consistency to it, but if you're looking for a nice thick balm, I think you would really like this. And this is $38, so I mean, right off the bat, I am gonna say that Make Beauty is a pricier brand. If you saw these prices at Sephora, you may not blink an eye, but just in general, thinking of things from a third-party perspective, it's definitely above the drugstore affordable pricing, and it's kind of reaching into high-end luxury pricing. Almost $40 for a moisturizer. That's pretty steep, but I will say it's really beautiful, and you can buy refills for the product so that you keep the packaging and take the refill out to reinsert the product. So those are the two skincare focused products that I have on hand. Let's get into the makeup. So one of the reasons that I really was interested in Make Beauty was their complexion products in general. I have found some favorites in my routine in the past couple months from this brand, specifically in their complexion products. So the first thing that I applied on my skin today was the Radiant Skin Tint, which is called the Diffusion Dew. This has some mixed reviews. This is a very cool product. It has a medium texture to it. It's a little bit slippy, runs down the hand, but it has enough thickness that it's not going to slide all the way down your arm. This has no SPF in it, and it is 1 fluid ounce. The Diffusion Dew comes in 12 shades, and I will say the shades are a little funky to me. I'm in shade 2, which I find to be very light for me. Like in terms of a gradient of skin tint, I'm typically around 3 or 4 if we're doing 10 shades. So it just seems to be a little light. However, it does go from 1.5 to, and then it kind of goes from there. My shade is considered to be light to medium complexions with neutral undertones, which I would say is pretty accurate. But I have had to buy multiples of their skin complexion products to get the right shades because they are a little confusing. So I just wanted to call that out. This is a $32 skin tint, which is less than some of their skincare. And the benefits on the site say that it is sheer buildable coverage, adds a luminous glow to the complexion, and is infused with skincare ingredients to improve the overall look of skin. So a lot of the products that we're gonna mention here today are those skincare makeup hybrid style products, which you know I love. And overall, I would say I do enjoy this skin tint. It feels a bit more like a foundation to me, like a lightweight foundation, than it does my typical skin tints. It doesn't have as much sort of moisture and hydration as I would like with a skin tint, but it is very beautiful. I think the reason that this might be polarizing for a lot of people is that this actually contains mica, and it contains these tiny little bits of glitter particles throughout the product to add that luminescence to the face. So that's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. If you have super textured skin, I don't know if something with visible shimmer is going to be for you, but I will say it is very hard to detect. You kind of have to be looking up close in a close-up mirror to see those bits of shimmer. But if that's something that's gonna bother you and you're someone who's like, no, I just don't want the shimmer on my face at all, then I would say this one is not for you. When I first saw it with the shimmer on my face, I was like, no, you guys know me, I'm typically like a no shimmer, no glitter type of person. But over time wearing this, I've started to appreciate the fact that it just looks very naturally glowy. I would love it if it didn't necessarily have the pieces of glitter in it, but it's not something that bothers me enough to not use it. So just keep that in mind. Overall, I do enjoy this product. I don't reach for it quite as much as some of my other skin tints, but I do think it's beautiful, and I haven't had any issues on my sensitive skin with it. But The star of the show in terms of their complexion products, in my opinion, is their Skin Mimetic Concealer. It's funny because I made a video about this on my TikTok recently. It did okay, it didn't do amazing, and a larger creator created a video about it and it blew up. So I do believe that this is currently in the process of going viral or doing very well for them, which I'm very happy about because it is a stunning concealer. Also a very unique concealer. This is one of the lightest weight slash like lightest consistencies of a product I've ever tried, and I love that. This concealer is available in 20 shades, and my perfect shade is light 3C. They do have a sort of range that you can see online based on your skin type and undertone that you can pull from. And the benefits here are ultra lightweight formula that mimics the look of skin, buildable medium coverage, conceals blemishes, dark spots, and other imperfections. So what you would expect out of a concealer. However, I will say what I would consider this concealer to be is different than what it says online. To me, this is the perfect under eye concealer. It's super lightweight, very thin, feels like water going on the skin, incredibly hydrating. A little goes a long way, but if you add a lot, it still layers beautifully. I have a really tall order for concealers because I have had my favorite concealer be discontinued. So when I try a new concealer, I'm constantly thinking about all of these things that I want to check off. Is it lightweight? Does it reflect light? Does it sit on the skin or does it sink in? Does it crease? Does it set well with powder? Does it not need to be powdered? And I'm telling you all of the things that I appreciate in a concealer, this ticks off for me. I have been obsessed with wearing this. I think it is absolutely beautiful. In terms of covering darkness or red spots or acne around the face, I wouldn't recommend it because it is a more dewy formula and it does reflect light, but under the eyes, this is absolutely stunning. I also wanted to mention all of their products. The packaging is just beautiful. It's weighty, it feels luxurious, so you are getting that experience for the price that you're paying, but I would pay $1 million for this concealer because it is so good. Okay, maybe not 1 million, but if you like what I like, I'm telling you, this concealer is gonna be a win in your book. Okay, moving on to some of our color cosmetics. We're talking about the cheeks, the lips, the eyes. This is a more recent launch from them. Mostly everything after what I just said is a recent launch from them. But this is their Skin Mimetic Microsuede Bronzer. So as you can tell, a lot of their products are under the line Skin Mimetic. Their powder blushes and their powder bronzer as well as their concealer are under the Skin Mimetic line. I am definitely a fan of their bronzers. I think that the shade range that they have available is really beautiful and allows for different undertones to try out this product as well, which I really appreciate. This bronzer is $32, comes in 6 different shades. I would say it has a really nice gradient and they are a bit of a warmer pull when it comes to undertone. I'm in the shade Aura, which I think is the second shade, it's the second shade. So it allows for you to use this on powdered skin or on top of cream products. So this is one of those bronzers that even though it's a powder, it's very pressed, so it's not going to kick up a bunch of debris and powder on top of your skin. It's really going to like set into the skin like a cream, but give you more of that powder finish, and I feel the same way about their powder blushes, which we'll get into. These are pressed pretty thick, so you're not gonna get a bunch of kick up. That's what I'm trying to say. I personally did go in with a little bit of powder just to set some of these areas of my face. I went in with the Cloud Set from Kosas because again, I don't have their powder. I have used this product on my bare skin, like on top of my cream products, and I feel that it does blend very well. However, just in general, it is more difficult to blend a powder on top of creams without some powder to help blend that product in. So when I am using a powder bronzer or a powder blush, I do like to have a light layer of translucent powder on the face just to make sure things are blending really beautifully. I love using this. I will say, like, is it anything crazily spectacular? No, it's a pretty standard powder blush. It leaves a matte to satin finish, a natural looking finish on the skin. It doesn't have any shimmer or glitter in it, and it just looks nice. This is refillable as well. They say that it is matte, buildable, natural sun-kissed look, and it also includes hyaluronic acid and ceramides. So again, with the skincare infusion, I absolutely love that. I think the packaging is so cute. I love that all of these are magnetic and you can take them out. Same with their blushes. It just allows for less packaging to be sent to you, which means less recycling, which means it's better for the planet. So Again, really like this. I do think that you can find a bronzer at the drugstore that will give you a similar effect, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I do enjoy this bronzer. So I just mentioned these Skin Mimetic Microsuede blushes that kind of go here with the vibe of the Microsuede bronzer. And they also have a cream blush, which is something that's been around for a little bit longer. But since we're talking about the powders, let's talk about the Microsuede powders. These are really interesting color selection, I will say. Like, some of them are more nude, but a lot of these are very bright, and I think that's amazing because, again, it works better across multiple skin tones. These darker shades that have more of a vibrancy to them are really gonna show up. I'm gonna try and show you a few. Are really gonna show up beautifully on deeper skin tones because it's going to actually pack a punch and show on dark skin, whereas maybe light skin will go for more of these muted sort of pinky purple colors. So there are options for everyone in this line, and I think that they did a great job on picking their shades. Similar here with the skincare infused products. These are also matte. They feel very similar to the bronzers. In fact, like, they may even be the same formula, perhaps a little bit softer. This is what I would consider to be a standard powder blush, but the reason that I like it along with the bronzer is that it doesn't kick up a lot of product. It's very easy to use. I actually use it on top of the cream blush today, so I probably should have done this backwards, but it's fine. I used this on top of the cream blush to set it down just a little bit, and I felt like it didn't make any patching on the skin. It really does a good job of sort of mattifying whatever you've put down already without looking super powdery on the skin. So I love these. I think they're beautiful, especially if you're looking for a product to last throughout the night but not look so stripe of powder on the face. Again, skincare infused. I really don't have much negative to say about these. Do I think they can be duped out with a drugstore alternative? Probably, but that doesn't take away, again, that I really, really like the formula. I like the color selection, and that's not always something that you can find at the drugstore. So let's talk a little bit about their cream. This is the Heat Stroke. This packaging is so cool looking. I love that it has a gold and silver cap because it's kind of like adding to the vibe of this whole collection. Everything is just very well thought out packaging wise. The Heat Stroke is a cream lip and cheek, and it comes in 8 shades. They consider this to be a dewy gel cheek tint. Innovative gel tint formulated with skin enhancing pigments to create a dewy watercolor blush effect. Skin plumping brown algae enhances for volume and radiance, available in 8 shades. I actually purchased this, so I don't have all 8 shades. I am wearing mine in the shade Scorched today, which is a beautiful burnt sort of red terracotta shade. These really do have a gel consistency. Something about them gives the look of perhaps a transparent base to the product, which is amazing for multiple skin tones. If you have a more white undertone to a blush, especially if they are pastel shades, that's really going to look quite ashy on a lot of darker skin tones. So the fact that this has more of that gel style transparent base, it's gonna melt into every skin tone, and everyone will still get a version of this color without it looking like you're washed out or like it's too dark on you. The shades are beautiful. Like, looking at these shades, I want to get more. I really do. Like, there's a bright fuchsia, there's berries. I have this, again, like this scorched orange shade. There's pinks, there's browns that could easily be worn as cream bronzers as well. So that might be something that I dip my toes into next, is getting a few more of these to test out. I will say these are quite pigmented. You do not need a lot of product to get this to last on your skin or to show up, which is nice, but not as beginner friendly. These are $30. Again, I don't really think they have a ton of product under $30 on their website, so just keep that in mind. If you are doing like a haul or adding to cart, it might be better to add one thing at a time so you're not blowing out your bank account. But I do love this product. I think it's really great. Again, I don't have much negative to say about this brand. However, at the end of the video, we will go over my final thoughts and what I think is really worth picking up, and this will probably be in that list. So I am a sucker for a cream product. I love that it doesn't have any shimmer or sparkle in it. It just has this beautiful gel dewy glow, and the color selection is gorgeous. We're getting into our final couple products here with our eyes and our lips. And I will say one thing that I find is sort of missing from this brand, in my opinion, is a highlighter. I noticed after putting on all of my complexion products, I felt that I needed to use a spray on my face. I did end up going in with a Peach and Lily Glass Skin because it was feeling a little matte. I would absolutely love if they came out with a highlighter that was in similar packaging and similar formulation to their heat strokes, that had that transparent base that just offered this like really glassy shine to the skin. Oh my gosh, like pairing a concealer with a cream blush and a highlighter, that's kind of my thing, and I would freaking love that. So hopefully that's in the works in the future, because I do feel like it is something that is missing from my look. So next up, we're going to cover their new launch, which is a mascara. This is the Lash Prototype. So the Lash Prototype is a $26 mascara that is meant to add volume, length, and definition. It's vegan, and it is supposed to be buildable volume for optimal fullness. Again, I am very particular about my mascaras. I prefer to have a very fluttery, wispy lash, and this is just not exactly what I would pick out for myself. I love the packaging. I love how weighty it is. This is not a tubing mascara, so already I'm more likely to want to go for one of my tubing options, because I do tend to get flaking and smudging under the eyes, and this is one that did smudge on me after a few hours, especially if you're not using a lot of powder under the eyes to set. This is probably going to smudge on you if mascaras typically do smudge on you. That being said, I really enjoy that it is a natural bristle longer wand, and I love the packaging itself. Typically a wand like this I would really enjoy, but this one, with how quickly it smudged on me, it's not something that I typically grab for. Oh my gosh, I just realized something that I have from them that I didn't put in this video, and it's a bunch of eyeliners. Oh my gosh, I'm ridiculous. A product that I completely forgot that I had from them, that I'm not wearing, is another eye product. Wow, this video is gonna be longer than I thought. And it's their eyeliners. Give me one sec and I will swatch these for you. I mean, I would say the majority of my eyeliners are from Make because of the color selection. Look how many I have here in my hands, you guys. That's a lot. That is a lot of eyeliners. Okay, I completely forgot to use these because I didn't have them out. I had them in my side drawer, but that's okay. We'll talk about them real quick. These are the Continuum Waterproof Gel Eyeliner. So what's interesting is you can only get the eyeliner in a set with the mascara. I'm pretty sure. I'm not seeing it on the website without the mascara attached to it, but it comes in a crap ton of shades, like so many shades, and I absolutely love the options that they have here. And the reason that I really like these is that not only is it a twist up gel style pencil, but it gives you two options for a brush tip to help with smudging, and then it also gives you a sharpener. So even though it's a gel product, it's going to still give you the option to sharpen that gel tip and give you a little bit more precision. So here's my take on the eyeliners. I absolutely love the color selection. I still have it on my arm right now. I think it's so cool. Love the color selection. I think they're so unique and they would work well on everybody. My problem is these are not the easiest to work with, if I'm being honest. The actual application is fine. It's a little bit tuggy, but once they're on, which is good in theory, but when you're given a brush on the end of a product, it kind of gives the idea that you would be able to smudge it out or brush it on. And I'll say once the product is down, it is very hard to smudge out, and this brush applicator is not really doing the trick for me. I think it's a little hard on the skin, and I think it would need to be more of a smudger style product to make these actually smudge out, because again, like, these ain't going nowhere, which I like, obviously, once it's on the eye, but I would go into it knowing that they're not going to budge instead of thinking that this is going to be smudgeable. If you've been on my channel for a little while, you already know how I feel about their eyebrow products. I love this duo. So you can get it in a set, which is what I got mine in. This is called the Brow Kit for $34.20, or you can get the brow tint separately for $23 and the blade line for $22. So it's definitely in your interest to get both together for a pretty steep discount. Let's talk about them individually though, just in case you are interested in one or the other. But this is the blade line is a refillable brow pencil, ultra thin, microblade inspired, refillable, and creates hair-like strokes, easy to use, buildable, available in 6 shades, from warm taupe to soft black. The reason that I love this so much is that I have finally found a shade that is close to my dyed hair color, which is this auburn shade. It's very hard for me to find a color that works very well for me, and honestly, that is the reason why I love these so much. I think the formula is amazing as well, and I like that it's a larger brush, but if you have small eyebrows, I don't think this is going to be so perfect for you because it is a pretty large applicator of product. Like, although it looks skinny, it's still going to give you some bigger strokes than your typical Anastasia brow definer. The star of the show for me is the Sculpting Brow Tint because this is actually going to tint your eyebrows. You can see that this is a very watery formula, and you can see just how pigmented the actual liquid is in the fact that it's actually covering the black spoolie that this product comes on. This gives me the effect of auburn eyebrows when I do not have auburn eyebrows. It covers my black eyebrows and makes them auburn, which is something that I need, but it might not be everybody's cup of tea if you like the natural shade of your brows. Not to say that you couldn't get this gel in your natural tint, but just keep that in mind. This comes in the same shade range as the Brow Blade. I use this duo all the time. I think it works so well. It does leave a little bit of that crunch, but nothing crazy to the eyebrows. I personally like a crunch. I've talked about that before. If you're gonna put your brows in place, you want them to stay that way all day, and this will definitely do that for you. I love this, especially if you are someone who has dyed your hair and you're looking for something to help match with your brows. Okay, we're on our last two products here, which are actually variations of the same thing. We are talking about the Serum Balm and the Serum Balm Intense. Again, absolutely stunning packaging. I love this gold silver shade that they use that is like somewhere in between. And the first product that came out was the Serum Balm before the Intense version came out. So the Serum Balm is a $26 hydrating lip treatment. It provides instant hydration while softening, smoothing, and plumping. Pomegranate flower liquefied jojoba wax lip conditioning treatment adds luxurious, long-lasting shine. I have mine in the shade Sunflare, which is an orangey type of shade. I think I've tried almost all of these, and to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the shades. I just think that they're okay. They're all kind of bright and offer like a tint of brightness to the lips, where I'm more of a neutrals or terracotta-y type color over like this sort of bright orange shade. I do like the formula of this product, but it's giving a similar effect as the Pink Matter in terms of that slippery feeling on the lips. I prefer something that has a little bit more of a grip on the lips that gives you more of a gel style texture instead of a very slippery sort of texture, if that makes sense. Not to say that I don't like this, but again, I don't grab for it quite as much as I grab for the Intense version. So the Serum Balm Intense was created later, and it says that this has amplified pigment, provides instant hydration, all of those similar things, but in a completely different shade range that's more of those neutrals that I mentioned I really enjoy wearing. We have browns, a super dark purple, plums, but also those really, really bright colors that the original Serum Balm has. So I have mine in the shade Berry Moon, which is sort of like a darker berry color that offers a lot of pigmentation to the lips, so I actually prefer to dab it in with my finger for a lighter layer of pigmentation, and I think it's perfect. I've been talking so much, I need to put some more on. So I'll just kind of and then tap it out like this. If you wanted full pigmentation from this, you absolutely could achieve that. I just prefer for it to be a little bit lighter on the lips because I got such a dark shade. I really like this. I prefer it over the Serum Balm simply because of the shade range and the color payoff. I do see myself putting this in my purse quite a bit just because I like having the option for something that's a little bit more pigmented but still in that like balm style. Again, similar to the Heat Stroke, it has a clear base to it, so anyone can wear any of these shades without worrying about being washed out, which is something that I think is thoughtful and I really enjoy. And the Serum Balm Intense comes in 11 shades, which I think is nice, and it is $26. Whew, okay. So, final thoughts on Make Beauty. I'm obviously interested in this brand because I continue to purchase from them and I really am intrigued by the products that they continue to put out. I will say, if I had to give you a few things that I felt like you needed to get from this video, it's gonna be probably these 3 things. First off, it's gonna be the concealer. I really highly recommend this concealer. I think it's beautiful. I don't have much else to say besides trust me on this one. If you like what I like, you'll like this one. The eyebrow product, specifically the gel, this is so beautiful, and if you need a pigmented eyebrow gel, they have absolutely got you on this one. And then third would be the Heat Stroke, which is their cream gel products for the dewy tint on your cheeks. Absolutely stunning. Honestly, you could use these 3 products alone and make a look out of it and it would be stunning. Not to say that the rest of these products don't deserve a spot in your vanity, but those 3 for sure are ones that I continually go back to over and over again. Also the eyebrow pencil, but again, you can kind of find an eyebrow pencil anywhere. In terms of what I would pass on in this haul, I would probably say the Pink Matter lip and the mascara. I just haven't had the best luck with this mascara. I already have some flaking under the eyes just from filming this for about 45 minutes, and I do find that this is a bit of an overpriced product for what it is. Not to say that I wouldn't use them again, but I do think there are better out there. Everything else that I mentioned here, I would say is worth it, but not necessarily as good as these 3 top picks in my opinion. So let me know down in the comments what you've tried from Make Beauty. If there's anything in particular you want me to try that I haven't mentioned here, or if you're excited for their next launch. I will still be on top of Make Beauty and seeing what they come out with next because I'm really intrigued by the brand. Again, I really love this center brand product that they are a part of, and I'm gonna keep my eyes on them as well. So again, let me know down below if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next video really soon.